Meteorologist Collin Myers joining us again. And Collin, we've been talking about the heat for, I feel like, the last month or so. But next week, we're in for a big change, right?
Yeah, now all of a sudden we get, not the great news in terms of Beryl. Now, the good news is, the short-term good news at least, that today it had some trouble re-strengthening after it crossed the Yucatan. So far, though, let's show you where we are. So already the alerts are out there. Hurricane warnings and watches along the coast stretching from Corpus up towards Galveston. So we're going to watch that. Also of note, the spaghetti model plots. You've seen many of these. We always talk about them during the tropical season. They've really confined, so you're getting closer to the event when they have a much narrower window of uncertainty. So a lot to watch there, and we're going to be watching this. But we just got the update from 10 o'clock from the Hurricane Center. Let's go over to the weather wall and show you what we're looking at. So this is the past 12 hours, and we're going to watch and see this. Look how disorganized it was when it left the Yucatan, and all of a sudden it strengthened through the day. This is what happens. It's what we call D-max, or diurnal maximum heating. During the day is when you see the storms really go up, and you see what we call these hot towers. In the middle here, the tallest parts, those are your big thunderstorms like you would see outside surrounding the center. But all that dry air around the southern and eastern sides really hurt the storm in terms of intensifying today. That's good news. But then tonight you'll see it kind of weaken as we go through the past 3 hours here, because we've hit D minimum. So we've started to weaken. We've hit that diurnal spot where we're cooler. The sun has set. But already more thunderstorms developing on the northern sides here in the past 45 minutes or so. And what I'm actually watching is, are we going to see an inner core develop here? Once a storm can kind of set up and get more of a moisture core where it's surrounding and protecting itself from that dry air, you can start to see some slow intensification. I think it'll happen within the next 6 to 12 hours, setting up for tomorrow being the primarily only day really where it has time to strengthen when that sun is out and it's warm in the Gulf. So the latest Hurricane Hunter came through 61-mile-an-hour winds. So again, a tropical storm, about 15 miles per hour away from at least a Category 1 hurricane. Pressure has dropped slowly, so the storm has maintained itself, but that wind shear has been a problem. Unfortunately, tomorrow it's moving into an area near the very western Gulf Coast where the wind shear is almost zero. So there it is now, 10 o'clock, latest advisory, winds still 60 as you saw. Pressure is slowly dropping. The latest track they have has it making landfall sometime Monday morning as a fairly strong Category 1 storm, about 10 miles per hour or so from a Category 2. But again, that's subject to change if something happens tomorrow. There's a short window in which it could substantially intensify, but I don't think a longer process to a major hurricane is quite as likely at this point. So good news there. Now, either way, the eastern sides of this, Houston, Galveston, up towards East Texas, are going to see the heavier bands, the dirty sides, okay? But for us, the question is, the track is not locked in just yet. If it wobbles a little bit, as these do, and once we get an inner core or perhaps maybe an eye late tomorrow, will we see this maybe shift west or east? That makes a huge difference in the forecast as you're about to see. So first, though, remains a tropical storm, shows signs of forming that inner core. Still expected to intensify at least into a Category 1. Outside chance for maybe some intensification, maybe quickly. Moving northwest, and small changes in track can affect that intensity, and landfall along the Texas coast still expected to be tomorrow morning. Out there right now, though, boy, still a heat index of 94, but a far cry from that triple digits as we had at this time last week. So watching that right now, temps, so heat indices not too bad. 89 in McKinney, 88 in Terrell, Waxahachie at 90, so coming down a little bit. Now let's go to Futurecast and show you why that track matters. Every little wobble here and there. So this model, the graph is doing okay. It's not perfect. I think it's a little early, actually. It brings the center close to Matagorda Bay, say, by about Monday at midnight. No, this is a few hours ahead, but it does a pretty good job, I think, in terms of the general track. It actually has a lot of the heaviest rain, Houston up towards Lufkin. The good news, the storm is really picking up speed in the jet stream once it makes landfall. But for us, you can see how a little wobble west, how much that changes the rainfall. Okay, but right now we're still trending towards along and east of I-35 to watch very carefully. All in all, though, by Tuesday, this storm is gone from the state of Texas. Potential rainfall, again, don't take this to heart, because we're going to know more tomorrow, especially if the storm forms that inner core and maybe an eye and the track changes. But all in all, see how tight this gradient is? You go from almost nothing in Fort Worth and Bridgeport, Mineral Wells, to right along Central and Dallas and Richardson, Allen, McKinney, and Plano. You're talking about 1 to 2, and then you're actually starting to talk about really heavy and localized flooded rainfall. So something to watch very closely. We'll know much more in the next 12 to 24 hours. All in all, though, pretty good rain chances, which we will take for July, okay? But we certainly don't hope that the storm undergoes any serious intensification tomorrow. There is some precedent for that, but we don't want to see it. The good news is, look, down to 84 Tuesday.
84. That's looking pretty nice. But the rain chances, yes, we need the rain, but we want people to stay safe. Thanks, Collin. Well, it was another busy day at DFW Airport today. The holiday travel rush, it's